So with our handsome Mr. M, ready, Max? Nice check-in, sir. What a good boy. Good job. I know that you had mentioned that he still does quite a bit of barking in and around the home. Remember that a lot of times barking is communication. So I know for us, sometimes excessive barking from our perspective seems really overwhelming, and it of course doesn't feel so nice for our ears. But remember that for a lot of dogs, if they're doing a lot of excessive barking from our perspective, is that there could be something that's not being met for a need, or there could be some anxiety or some frustration going on. I know we kind of discussed a little bit with the barking in Tuesday's session, but there might be moments where I know a lot of folks out of desperation, when your dog is actually maybe dealing with anxiety, a lot of barking and whining is also part of that as a almost byproduct of that discomfort and feeling really anxious. So it could be one of those situations, Max, where your puppy, nice check-in, sir, where your pup might actually be dealing with anxiety and not so much, again, just out of fun barking. So if you're finding that at times he's really having a hard time with something, you may want to check out some of the calming supplements that could also be paired while creating a new routine for him as well. So if, again, you're a little bit uncertain as to how to help him, definitely check out some of the video resources that are for some separation anxiety or some dealing with stress when it comes to being separated from you. You may want to also look into creating like a safe bubble for him, even within the home. So if he has free access to the whole environment, that might be too hard for him and too triggering, where maybe he's able to, as I mentioned with Ms. Z, do some window shopping where he's looking out the window. Ready, Max? And then he might be barking as things are going by, and then think barking is what makes him feel safe again. So we may find for Mr. M, I know sometimes people will say, well, can't I just put an anti-bark collar on him or scold him when he's barking? Remember that a lot of times if your puppy's trying to communicate how they're feeling comfort range, and now it's paired with something that hurts or something that's suppressing behavior, you're not getting at the root cause as to why is my dog barking in the first place. And then from there, you're also just suppressing his natural responses to fear or frustration or anxiety or boredom. And the problem there is we're just, again, muffling his cries for help. So it's still not getting at the root cause. Why is my pup struggling? Ready, Max? And then how can I help him? So there are some great videos as well that I sent along in the very beginning with some of those documents. And one of those is either barking at noises or barking through training. And also sometimes if he's got noise sensitivity, some dogs are barking because they hear a sound, they get overwhelmed, and then they bark. Ready, Max? He's like, this place smells amazing. I know we did a little pee last time. So remember, this was a doggy daycare even well before I moved into the facility. So even though I've done my darndest to clean, the lovelies will still smell doggy-like aromas and want to leave their information behind. Ready, Max? Nice. So even though right now all Max is doing is, while I'm blabbing, doing some reorientation to me, it's still the beginning stages of that wonderful loose leash walking, working recalls down the road. So even if in the first beginning stages of working with your beauty, it's about orientation and focus back on you, that's a great starting point because that'll be the beginning stages of all the other things we're going to work on. So ready, Max? So let's say he's a little distracted by the environment. I might go try to get a little bit closer. Max. Yes. And if I get him, try to bring him back to roughly where I sort of originally called or tried to get his attention. Here you go, sir. If he's not as food driven, remember this is also sometimes him saying it's a little bit more than he was expecting. Maybe he is having a day where he's feeling a little bit overtired. Nice job, sir. Because he was out earlier working some lovely skills. There was a big truck outside because, of course, there's a lot of machinery that go by on this roadway. And it did sort of have that funny brake noise for a moment. And that, I think, startled him for a moment when we were outside. So sometimes it takes a few moments to kind of decompress and come back from a spooky moment. But Mr. Max is doing a very nice job. I would recommend take a peek-see over the resources I did send along to all of you. Again, again, not all of them will apply to you or your particular situation or your puppy's needs or potential, needs for this moment. But maybe as they develop from puppyhood to adolescent or from adolescent to adulthood, there could be some moments where we're missing out on some information and the puppy's getting confused. So, but Mr. M, nice job, sir. Ready? He's like, no, I'm all set. So nice little almost drive-by, but good little check back in. He says, no, I'm all set and full. He could be also full because we did practice earlier. So what I would recommend is work some of these foundation skills in and around the home. Take a peek, see over some of those other resources I sent along. And then we're going to keep fine-tuning some of the stuff that he needs to work on at school. But really, all in all, very good job, Mr. M.